Y'all asked for it a lot, so let's talk about it. What happened to the ghost ship, the SS Ourang Medan? So this all started in 1947 when ships navigating the Strait of Malacca around the area of the Indian Ocean all got some really weird SOS signals through Morse code. Now, at first, this was just a random string of code until finally people were able to decipher it, and the message was concerning. Now, the first concerning message read, "All officers, including the captain, are dead, lying in the chart room and bridge, possibly whole crew dead." And then, after a minute, finally, 2 simple words, "I die." So tons of people who were in the area got this Morse code message, and they all freaked out, rightfully so, and they contacted who they could so they could triangulate the message and find approximately where this SOS came from. When they found the location, an American ship called the Silver Star ended up being closer, but this ship, wherever this location was, it was outside of trading routes. It was deep in the Indian Ocean, and it was a very weird place for a boat to just be wandering around in. Either way, the Silver Star went to those locations, and it finally found a ship that was essentially just floating. The weirdest thing was, though, they couldn't see anybody at all on board, so the Silver Star crew decided to board it. And this is where things get even creepier, because what they reported to see was very abnormal. They saw tons of people, only they were no longer alive. In fact, their bodies were lying on the deck of this boat, totally unharmed, but their faces were twisted in fear. They kept searching the boat. They found that the captain was indeed dead, as well as everybody else who possibly could have been on that boat. And all of them had the same anguished expression on their face. The crew of the Silver Star were incredibly uneasy with this, but they decided they were going to get off and they were going to try to tow the boat to shore so that somebody could figure out what happened to these people. Only once they had it all hooked up and started to go, that's when the ship started to smoke, and they were forced to cut the line and watch as the ship went up into flames and sunk into the Indian Ocean. From there on, people have no idea what happened to this boat or the crew. And honestly, there's not even record that this boat really did exist. But there are other records of potentially what happened to this boat. See, even if the boat didn't exist in any legal document, that doesn't mean that it didn't exist. See, the main theory is that this boat was smuggling illegal substances, and if that's the case, it wouldn't be legally registered anywhere. There is some good documentation from scholars about this boat existing and what illegal stuff it might have been smuggling, but we still don't know exactly what happened. People believe it was the illegal substances that killed the people on this boat, but if that were the case, if it was toxic fumes, why were their faces so terrified, and why didn't it harm the people who then docked the boat later? Even if folks lean heavily towards the theory that there were some poisonous fumes from illegal substances on this boat, that doesn't explain one other aspect about the corpses. When the Silver Star crew got there, the corpses were perfectly intact, like I said, but as they wandered the boat and then came back around to those corpses, they realized the corpses suddenly started to very quickly decay. And on top of that, the temperature in the boat was very cold compared to the rest of the area around them. So I don't really know what's going on. I don't have that big of a theory on it. Was it something supernatural? Was it something that just was an unfortunate accident? I don't know. But one thing I wonder is, why did the ship only start smoking once it was being towed? Was that because somebody in the crew of the Silver Star decided to sabotage it? Was it just luck on their part that they weren't on it when it started to catch on fire? Who knows? I want to know what your theories are in the comments.